Hello, everybody. Welcome back to the SOMM TV podcast. My name is Jason Wise. On today's episode, I am incredibly honored to say I have multi-NBA champion and all-star and winemaker Tony Parker, who makes wine in the south of France. On today's podcast, we are going to speak about the lack of respect for one of my favorite wines, which he makes, which is Rosé. We're also going to drink a little birth year wine, and we are going to talk about the NBA and wine. He is one of the people who started, was at the forefront of the thing that just seems like it's always been, that NBA players like wine, but he was at the beginning of it. So stay tuned for that conversation. You can also watch that on SOMM TV right now, where I speak to Tony, and it's really great. If you want to see the birth year wine and see kind of what it looks like and all of that, it's on SOMM TV and all of our apps. Also coming to SOMM TV soon, we have a closer look at Rioja, one of my absolute favorite regions for wine, with two of the top producers telling the story. So you'll want to watch that. That is going to be live any moment now. Without further ado, my conversation with NBA All-Star and winemaker, Tony Parker. It is an honor to have you on SOMM TV. I'm assuming this is your whole life's led up to this moment.
Almost.
You finally made it, you know? Mm-hmm. I'm excited to taste your wine, and I want to talk to you. We'll talk about Rosé. So I brought a bottle for you to taste, just really fast. This is just to start us off, and it's like, your birth year is 82, is that correct?
Okay.
So I brought an 82 wine from the Roussillon in France. So just a quick taste. I thought, since we're gonna do some rosé, since it's the morning, as one does, we'll drink a little sweet wine.
All right.
I don't know.
I don't know that one.
So this is, look at it. This is I'm gonna butcher that. Can you say that?
Tu ne vins calvé? Je connais pas.
Yeah. So it is one of the oldest appellations in all of France.
Okay.
And one of the smallest, as a matter of fact. So it's a really fascinating thing. But to be able to drink birth year, anytime I'm able to do that, I do it.
Okay.
So I thought...
So it's from your own collection?
This is, yeah. Yeah, this is from my own collection.
All right.
And it's an interesting wine because it's oxidized on purpose.
Okay.
You
have to let it breathe, or you can drink right away?
You can drink it right away. So if you taste it, it's sweet. This appellation is so tiny in the south of France. It's like just this little tiny area, and this is what they make. This really? Oxidized, kind of sherry-like.
Thanks for making me try. I've never tried that kind of wine.
Yeah. Do you like sweet wine at all, or you do?
But if I drink sweet wine, I will drink Sauternes. Yeah. I will go with Chateau Yquem or something like that.
Yeah.
Sorry, but that's my favorite one.
Yeah.
The sweet wine.
We filmed at Yquem. Have you been there?
Been there many times. Yeah. I know Pierre Lurton, the big boss, very, very well. And I did many dinners with him. Yeah. He's a very good friend of mine. And so next year we're doing something for my birthday next year at his castle.
That's amazing.
I like to go over there because a lot of Bordeaux, they have the appellation, they say chateau, but it's not really a castle.
Yeah.
Chateau Yquem, it's a castle. It's a castle. It's
we've filmed all over there. In fact, with Pierre, he's opened up some really old bottles for us. And,
nice.
He's a generous guy. You got to go there during harvest.
I've never been during harvest. Yeah.
It's insane to watch them harvest. The grapes all
they
have
grapes,
noble rot on them.
Yeah, because it's a late harvest. So
late harvest.
Yeah.
So I was just thinking, I had this 82, and I heard your birthday's 82. So like, what?
Nice.
When else am I going to drink
82
this?
is a great year for wine. So
it's
I'm
a problem
lucky,
to find
very
82s,
I know,
though.
it's very hard. And I like when I go to different castles and do the vineyards in Bordeaux. They always use me as an excuse, like to open an 82. It's like, oh, we have a good excuse, Tony.
That's right.
Is in our castle. Can we open it? And so a lot of people they say thank you to me because the first time they drink the 82, it was with me. So
right.
It's pretty cool.
Yeah, I was 80, which was not a great
80. No, I think I never drank the 80.
It's not terrible, but it's not a good year. All right, so what I want to talk to you about is Rosé. People who listen and watch SOMM TV and all this, they know I'm obsessed with Rosé. I think it's one of these, you see it everywhere, but it's so still underappreciated.
When did you start drinking rosé?
Probably real rosé, like not like Boone's Farm or something like that, or like White Zinfandel. Probably not until my early 30s, late 20s.
So, but what year? What year? Like?
Oh, I would have. What year? Jeez.
I don't know. You look like you're 20 years old, so that's why it's hard for me to know you.
I appreciate that. I just I feel 70. Now this would have been. God,
what, early 2000s?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Yeah, exactly. Mid 2000s.
My first time drinking rosé was Miraval.
Oh, yeah.
When Brad Pitt started it, I was like 21 in '03.
Were you with Brad Pitt?
No. But he announced that he was like doing a rosé and he joined forces, with La Famille Perrin.
Yep.
And so I was like, oh, rosé, I only drink red or white, I was like not really drinking rosé. And I remember that summer I was like, okay, let's do it, let's try. And it was like maybe '05, I really tried it and we took it, in vacation with us and I really drank a lot of rosé and that's when I first fell in love with rosé.
I'm surprised in Europe you didn't drink more rosé.
I was 21 in '03, so I was too young.
Okay. Yeah. Yeah, no, that's right.
Yeah. But for me, rosé, it really, like when you see the evolution of rosé, I think like Brad did a great job, to put it like everywhere in the US. It really exploded, and when I see now LVMH making all those big investments, in Chateau d'Esclans and Minuti, and now every rosé wants to do a premium one, Now you have the entry one, you get the second one, now you have the premium one.
Yeah.
And so I like that all the knowledge from the red wine and white wine is spreading into the rosé, because all those people, for many years they make great reds and great whites, and now you have all that knowledge coming into rosé. And I think rosé, people always think about, oh, let's drink, the last year, of rosé. But I think now the like especially us, like the quality and the way we do it, rosé, we treating it like it's a red wine, And so I feel like in the years to come, you're gonna be able to keep rosé, for 4 or 5 years at least. You're gonna be able to drink it all year long. Like people always had that perception, oh, you only drink it where it's hot and only in the summer. Yeah. But for me, I had great meals with rosé, and I'm a little bit like you. I love rosé. Like I drink all 3 colors, but rosé is definitely my favorite.
Rosé is my go-to at home. In fact, you brought a bottle. Let's open it.
Yeah. I'll let you open it. You have
let
the
me
honor.
You want me to open it?
You have the honor to open it.
Okay, all right.
I'll keep drinking the gift that you give me.
Okay, all right. Well, it's an honor to open your wine.
I like it. I really like it.
It's that wine's tasty, but it's not like a breakfast wine.
No.
We're recording this. It's in the morning, so.
So you never tried it?
This?
Yes.
Nope.
Okay, first time. All right.
I am very excited. No pressure.
I'll serve you. I'll serve you.
Thanks, sir. Appreciate it. I directed a travel show years ago, and so the first time. Cheers. So the first time that I ever had serious rosé was in Provence. I mean, and we drank it all day. I mean, when I say all day, I'm talking like
all day.
All day. It was like nonstop. And the thing that blew me away was how affordable it was for how good it was.
Yeah.
I couldn't believe it, even at that young age.
I agree with you on that. Yeah.
It's wild. And so I do think if anyone who ever goes to Provence will become like an evangelist for
be addicted
rosé.
to that. Yeah. No, I agree.
Oh yeah, this is fantastic. This is great. So I'm obsessively telling people you can age rosé. Nobody believes me.
I agree with you on that.
I mean, some do. People who know do, but this could age. This has body to it.
Yeah, I agree with you 100%. That's what I was saying. I don't think we should limit ourselves to drink rosé the last year that like let's say right now we're in 24, we can only drink the 23. I don't think so.
Yeah.
I think you can age it. I think you can have it in great meals. And I tried all different stuff, all different pairings, and I really think the future of rosé is going that direction.
Yeah, I agree with you. So talk to me about food. What do you like to eat with rosé? What's the food?
Everything. I tried everything.
Really?
Yeah, no, really. Like I'm a big food guy anyway. I love food. I love fish, meat. I love my cheeses, obviously. That was my first job when I was 12 years old. I sold cheese in the market.
Really?
I go in the market with my mom, and we sell cheese.
Where is this?
In Normandy, where I grew up.
In Normandy, okay.
Yeah. So that was my first job. So that was my first taste of like good food, and so obviously growing up in France, it's in my culture. But I love the way the U.S. grew. When I arrived in '01. It was kind of tough to find good restaurants. The cheese was still pasteurized, like it was fake cheese. And so now, over the years, with all the chefs having the American dream and all the French chefs coming to France and spreading the knowledge, I feel like now in the US, you can eat very, very well. Everywhere you go now, every city, you're going to have good restaurants. The Americans are doing better and better in the chef competitions, Because, I live in Lyon. Lyon is the capital of food. That's where Paul Bocuse is from, the Michael Jordan of chefs. And so no, it's pretty amazing to see the evolution in the U.S. when you see Napa Valley, the way it's growing, and now it's beautiful when you go over there.
Is there real cheese in America now? Do we have real cheese?
Yes, sir.
Okay.
Yes, sir. I went yesterday. Yesterday I went to Wally's, to
In
to
Beverly Hills?
exactly
Yeah.
to have our rosé. Like that, they can try it, and obviously they have a bunch of wine, and they have a lot of different choices. But the thing that I love is they had a huge stand of cheeses.
It's ginormous.
And I was like, it's huge, and so you had all the good stuff. So I had to take a bunch of cheese. I was like, yeah, you can try the rosé. Let me eat my cheese. That's funny. But no, I like the way it's going and the evolution and everything. I can see, the people in the U.S. they're more educated now too, and I think they're willing now to spend that money, that extra money, because I can only imagine how much it costs, to export, all those great cheese. But I feel like they're willing to spend that money. And they travel to Europe a lot, and they go to all those different places, and so I love it. I can even see it in the NBA. When we put the dress code and everything, I feel like when I first arrived in the NBA, it was more focused on all hard alcohol, and now you can see a lot of NBA guys. They have their own vineyards, Dwayne Wade or Steph Curry, Carmelo Anthony, and I can see even in social media they're very proud, to put what vintages they drink and all that kind of stuff.
I feel like it's like almost like a status symbol, to be in the NBA and have like either a wine label or some vineyard land that you own.
Yeah, it became cool,
Yeah.
to have your wine.
You were early in it though. You were.
But me, I grew up with it. So,
yeah.
For me, I always knew I'd be in that business when I retired. When I was in San Antonio, it's not easy. 19 years old, you come to the U.S. and it was great to find out that my coach, Greg Popovich, was a huge wine lover, has a huge collection. So it was a
huge
great
restaurant guy too.
Exactly,
Yeah.
and it was a great way for me to bond with him. And so that's what I used to do. I used to invite all the best castles once a month. I will do a dinner at my house. I will invite one of the castles. I have a great dinner. They bring great bottles. Can drink for free. It's perfect. The next day, I will invite them to a Spurs game. But then the most important, it was in the summer when I go see them and go to the vineyard. I can work on my allocation, make sure they keep the good bottles, And so over the years, I've developed a great relationship, with all those people. So when I decided to invest in wine, it was natural. And it was just hard to find a good deal because all the good deals, either LVMH, they buy everything, or it stays in the family generation after generation.
Yeah.
So I was very blessed to meet Monsieur Rebier, my partner, who used to own the basketball team that I own now as well. So that's funny.
In Lyon.
Lyon. Yeah, he used to own the team back in the day. And so now I've been the owner of that team for 10 years now, a majority owner. And so when we met through mutual friends, he found out that I wanted to invest in wine. And so we talked for a year and then found an agreement.
Is it stressful owning a basketball team? I mean, you played and now...
I love it. It's just it's stressful to a point that I can't do anything.
Right.
I'm not on the court. I'm not.
Do you every once in a while do you like,
control.
all right, if I was
of course,
playing forward right
but,
now?
But no, we've been very successful. In 10 years we won 4 championships. So we've been very successful. Our last championship was with Wemby. And now he got drafted by the Spurs, so it's funny how it works, life. So no, it's pretty cool.
Did you talk to Popovich before he was drafted? Were you talking? I mean,
no, they talked to me.
They were scouting with you.
They were scouting. It was like, how's that little French kid?
Yeah, you didn't make him a counteroffer against.
No, can't do anything. No, when you drafted, you can't do anything.
Yeah, there's nothing you can do. Yeah. What's your dream meal with this rosé? Like, what do you? I know you'll eat anything.
Yeah, I know.
But if you're gonna sit down, I mean, like Lyon is a place I like.
Yeah.
I look at pictures of Lyon and I gain 5 pounds. Like it's no joke. Last time I was there, everything's got like cream and sauce and
we're very known for sauce. I agree with you.
Canals.
I don't
and all
know if
this
I had
stuff.
to choose a dream meal, I would go with a fish. I
Okay.
would go with like a Dover sole or a branzino, something like that,
okay.
and vegetables. That'd be my go-to.
In a sauce or just like butter, garlic?
No, with the lemon sauce.
Lemon
of course,
sauce.
you need a sauce.
I mean, I don't think people appreciate rosé as a food wine enough.
I agree with you.
Most of the time
they
it's
see
like,
it more like party and
or like a spritz you have before dinner.
Yeah.
Like it's like you just have it like something simple and easy.
But I think it's changing, because now every house they're doing a premium one. Like us, we have Chateau La Mascaronne, but we have a premium one. It's called La Grande Réserve, you know, La Mascaron, because my partner, he owns like 10 hotels, 5 stars hotels, very premium. And so we made this year 3,000 bottles that is going to be super premium.
What makes it premium over there?
But we take the best grapes.
So it's just better,
best grapes. Yeah.
Better site, better. Interesting. Okay.
A little bit like red wine, you know.
Yeah.
And we saw Miraval, they're doing the same thing, you know, with Muse and Château d'Esclans with Garus, you know. It's kind of try to create like a premium one, and that's the one I think you're going to be very easy. You can save it, you know, and let it age.
I always think, you know, some of these areas I see, some of them are using their grapes now to make red.
Yes.
Because I think they can, I don't know if it's because they can sell it for more or it's just there's more demand for red. I don't know. Do you feel any of that kind of pressure, or is it?
No, we don't feel no pressure. And my partner is all about, you know, high standard, premium. He's been in the wine business for like 25 years. So for me, you know, he's the owner of Cos, you know, Cos d'Estournel.
Yeah,
Cos is one of the best wine in the world.
Yeah.
And so
it's not my tax bracket often to buy that, but
Cos is expensive. It's not even my tax bracket.
It's very expensive. You guys are committed though to that.
Yeah, we committed to make the best rosé in the world, and we know the competition is tough, but that's makes you want to work even harder. And we don't spare any expenses, you know. We want to make a great rosé, and especially like the property that we have. It's a beautiful property. Next time if you come to the south of France, don't hesitate to call Marianne, and we'll organize a visit in La Mascaron. It's a beautiful property, and that's why you can see that we don't spare no expenses, you know. We try to have the best thing everywhere. Everything is handmade, everything is natural, and everything comes from the property.
How long have they made wine there?
A long time.
It goes back.
Yeah, because before it was Tom Bove, like I told you, you know. So that's why it made me comfortable, you know, to invest in La Mascaron, because Tom Bove did a great job, you know, with Miraval. So we knew it was just a matter of time. Just this gentleman was just selling wine, but his goal was not to do the marketing and sell it in the US or China. He was just happy to make good wine and sell it in Provence, you know.
Do you find a lot of other NBA players drinking rosé, or is it? Because what I always see is like, oh, I got a bottle of Opus One, or I got a bottle of, you know, Cheval Blanc, or you know, whatever it is. But
no, like, I think rosé is the last 2-3 years. Last 2-3 years, I can see a big change, you know, and I can see some of the NBA guys invested in different rosé business, you know, different ones, you know, and Chris Paul invested in one and asked me about like what I was doing and stuff like that. So I think over the years we'll see more and more people investing in rosé.
Hopefully they won't be as good as yours. That way you can stand out. You know?
Mine will be good, and then it's good if you have other good ones. You know?
No, I know. Of course. No, this is great. I really appreciate it. I guess my last thing is like, if I'm going to go visit Lyon, right? I'm going there. What restaurants do I need to eat at? Like, because you must
Paul
be dialed in.
Paul Bocuse. You have to go over there.
Right.
Like I said, Michael Jordan of chefs. You have to go to Paul Bocuse. You have to go to La Mer Brasier, the tradition. Very old restaurant. Been there forever. La Mer Brasier. And then if you want to see the view, you know, on the top of Lyon, and you see the beautiful view, I will go to La Tête d'Oie. La Tête d'Oie is a very famous chef, and the view is unbelievable. That'd be my top 3 for you.
In Lyon, do you see people drinking more rosé or white or red? Because it's kind of on the border area.
No, now in France, everybody drinks all 3 colors.
Yeah.
No, the rosé in France, definitely finest spot.
Well, I want to ask you a question. So, is there an element of all the NBA players kind of having wineries and vineyards that's kind of, is that something you're happy about, or are you like, come on guys, like, is it enough?
No, I love it. I love that guys love wine.
Yeah.
You know, I grew up with it. So like I said earlier, it's pretty cool now to see all the NBA guys, you know, having their own wine and being proud to share it on social media, or share what vintages they're drinking, what castle. When I first arrived in the league, it was more like a hard alcohol. And,
like what? Like,
no, I'm talking about like Hennessy or something like
cognac,
that. Yeah, cognac or something like that. Whiskey. Now it's like you can see more and more guys being educated and talking about wine, and they know what they're talking about. And I can see that guys love to travel. They go see and they go to the vineyards and stuff like that. So it's pretty cool.
Oftentimes where we're filming, like even in France, you know, we'll get to a place and they'll be like, LeBron James was here 2 days ago.
Oh, yeah,
or like,
it happens
or Chris
to me all
Paul,
the time.
or
exactly.
who else? You know, Jimmy Butler.
Yeah.
So it's always
and
like
I'd be
this.
like, what? They were here? They came all the way here? And like,
Yeah, I know. And it's some pretty remote
me, it was
spots.
Chateau Margaux. I remember when I went to visit Chateau Margaux.
Uh-huh.
There's like, you're our second basketball player that came all the way here to visit us. I was like, oh, really? I was like, who was the first one? And they say Michael Jordan. I was like, Michael Jordan? He came all the way here? I was like, oh, wow. That's funny.
Mm-hmm. You're like, never heard of him.
Never heard of him.
So have you poured your rosé for any of these guys?
No, not myself. No.
Why not?
I don't know. It's been 3 years and
not enough time, huh?
It was COVID. No.
I mean, I have to say, look, as somebody who, I have little kids. I live life on a budget. I'm glad you're making wine people can drink.
Oh, of course.
In some cases, though, some of these wines are, they're hundreds and hundreds of dollars.
It was always my goal to try to make something that is affordable and something that has good quality, but you can obviously try it and taste it. And rosé fits that too. You can drink like very, very good rosé and it's affordable.
Yeah, I agree completely. I mean, I think it's the most underappreciated but overexposed wine in the world. You can find it everywhere.
That's a good way to put it.
You can find it everywhere. It's at every grocery store, but the problem is it's not being thought of with the respect it deserves. And like any wine,
it will come with time.
Yeah,
it will come with time when you see all the investments from those big companies, and all the money that is into Provence right now. It will definitely come with time.
So thinking about other players' wines, who's poured wine for you that you remember it being good? Did you have any where you're like...
On the players?
Yeah, player-wise. I mean, or coaches. But...
I'll say Dwayne Wade. Dwayne Wade, when we were at the Hall of Fame.
Wade Sellers,
he brought his wine and his champagne, and it was pretty good. I was like, okay, D Wade. I was like, that's nice. I was like, you can see the passion. He loves talking about it, and you can see on social media he's very proud about talking about his wines. And so when he brought it to the Hall of Fame, I thought it was pretty cool.
Yeah, his red's delicious. I like his white though. Yeah. His Shannon.
They were all pretty good. Yeah. To be honest with you, they were all pretty good.
I'm just curious, do you guys, whenever you meet up with any of these guys, do you guys talk wine? Is it like a conversation, or is it just sort of?
Yeah, sometimes.
Externally, it looks like the NBA is crazy about wine right now.
Yeah. No. Yeah, of course we talk about wine. Of course.
Yeah. What's a conversation with Dwayne Wade about wine? Like, do you guys try to one-up each other? Like where you?
No, we talk about like what he wants to accomplish, with his wine and where he wants to be distributed. There can be conversation like that, oh, I want to bring it to France or stuff like that. Or me, I'd be like, okay, I just came to the US and I just finished a tour. And Miami, LA, New York, we go to all those different restaurants, to promote our wine and be discussions like that.
So talk to me about Popovich. So he's kind of got this mythic figure in the food world. Like people, if he goes to a restaurant, it means that restaurant is good. And it's not always expensive.
For sure.
It's always...
For sure. He has that reputation because we know he does his homework.
Yeah.
We know that he's going to be in the plane and he's going to look at all the restaurants that he can try and he's going to do all of that.
You think he's drawing up offense?
He's like,
but he's really drawing up.
He doesn't care about the offense. He cares about his restaurant, where he's going to eat, what he's going to drink. He's like a food critic, what I mean? Like the way I looked at him, like when he goes to a restaurant, he's like... I feel like the restaurants, they put pressure on themselves. They see Pop, they're like, we're gonna be noted right now.
So there's an Italian restaurant. I won't name it in San Francisco, but they told us Popovich came in. They only have like 7 tables, but it's just because it's a small little place. Popovich came in and he did a thing where he wanted to try like everything.
Yeah, everything. Yeah.
And they were terrified. Like terrified.
I'm telling you, he's a food critic.
And he's a really nice guy, right? I mean,
he should write a book and do all the restaurants that he did in the US. That'd be funny. And give notes.
To be honest with you, I would buy it.
I'm sure people will buy it for sure.
I'd pre-order it. For sure. So when you get to San Antonio, and this is something I've always wondered, when you get to San Antonio, I don't want to be mean to my country, but coming from France and selling cheese as a little kid and being immersed in, wine being something that's like part of the table, which Americans are still figuring out. We just can't get the function that wine is just part of the dinner table. So when you get to San Antonio, what were your first thoughts on the food scene in America? And
But for me, it's kind of...
Is this a mean question?
No, not at all. Yeah. It's just my dad is American. So I kind of knew, how was American food, and I did Thanksgiving, I did all that kind of stuff.
But you did it in France.
No, I did it in France, but I was exposed to it. So meaning like I knew what they were eating, and so I grew up with both mentalities. So and both cultures. And so I love the American side too. I always feel like I grew up with the best of both worlds, you know. And you have the American way where they're super confident, and then you have the French way where you have to keep a down to earth. And I feel like I grew up with the happy middle, you know. I grew up with both, and I would try to take both, the best, you know, the best of the Americans, the best of the French, and try to do like a mix, you know. And that's what happened with me, you know. I always tell people I grew up with an American dad. My mom is Dutch, you know, from Amsterdam. I'm born in Belgium, but I'm French, you know. I grew up in France, so I'm like a very, very international.
I mean, that sounds pretty American, honestly.
Yeah, true.
Everyone's sort of all over.
True.
Everyone's sort of all over the place. So when you got on the team, I mean, obviously you didn't get drafted for your food skills, but
no.
was Popovich like, hey, you're from France, let's go out to dinner? I mean, how did it? Because I know you guys have connected over food, right?
Papa is not the first one who saw me play. You know, when they drafted me, you know, the first ones who watched my tapes and watched me play, it was R.C. Buford, you know, the GM at the time, and Sam Presti, who's the GM now of OKC. They're the one who first saw me play, and then sent all my tapes to Pop and say, hey, we need to draft that little French point guard. But at the time, there was no European point guard who made it in NBA. So it was kind of a big jump, you know, and Pop, give him credit. Now you have the balls to draft me and put me in, threw me under the fire after 5 games, say I was a starter.
Well, it worked out. I mean,
yeah, it worked out great. But at the time, I'm the first European point guard to make it in NBA. So at the time, it was a huge gamble. Now, people, they're like, oh, Europeans, you know, they get drafted all the time. But you have to put it in perspective. Back then, it was only, 4 or 5 guys from Europe?
Right.
Now you have like 100.
Now there's 4 or 5 guys on every team.
Exactly.
Yeah, from especially, you know, Eastern Europe too.
Exactly.
Spain, you know, a lot of.
If you look at the top 5 guys this year, top 5 guys, you have no American.
That's right.
You have Jokic, Giannis,
just look at the
Luka,
the finals.
Shai from Canada, and Embiid from Cameroon. So the top 5 guys for MVP this year, they're not American.
So we don't make good cheese and we don't have good players anymore. It's sad.
No, you still have good players. You still have good players. You're still going to win the gold medal this summer. You still the heavy favorites to win the gold medal this summer.
That's true because we have a hive of players, whereas those teams have Jokic he's the center of the team. So
and you got Embiid, you know, you got him to play for USA, so you're good.
Joel Embiid does not hurt. That does not hurt. So what was the first time you went out with Pop? I want to talk about Popovich, like what he's like to have dinner with. Is this guy?
For me, what I love about Pop, when you go to dinner, he talks everything about basketball. Everything except basketball. He talks about everything except basketball. He really talks about life, politics, food, drinks. You know, he wants to know about different cultures, languages, all that kind of stuff. And so I was always amazed because me, when I used to go to lunches or stuff like that with coaches, we talk about basketball. Him, he doesn't want to talk about basketball. So it was great to bond with him and talk about wine and talk about France and talk about food. It was amazing.
That's incredible. Like, he kind of gets this reputation as being like a Renaissance man. You know, is that right? Am I wrong? That he just knows a lot about a lot of things. I mean, everyone I've talked to that's talked to him is kind of like,
it's true.
I went into interview
but he's old too. Huh? He's old too. Huh? So he went through life. Huh?
Yeah, that's right. But like, you go into interview him about one thing and you're talking about something completely different by the end than what you went to talk to him about.
He definitely has a lot of knowledge on a lot of different subjects. That's for sure.
Who would you rank? Just to wrap this up, who would you rank as like the top 5 guys in the NBA who actually know their shit about wine?
About wine?
Yeah, who actually know what they're doing. I mean,
I don't know if I have a top 5, but D Wade for sure. Mm-hmm. Carmelo.
Yeah, Carmelo Anthony. I've talked about these guys. Pau Gasol. Okay.
Loves his Spanish wine.
I was gonna say
good.
He's got.
Yeah, but Spanish is good too. Wine is great. Boris Diaw.
Oh, interesting.
My French counterpart.
Yeah.
Who's in the wine business too.
Yeah.
And then a 5th one, I'll say Jimmy Butler.
I was gonna say Jimmy Butler is a rap.
Jimmy, man, he buys a lot of stuff. No, Jimmy knows his thing too. I never had a dinner with him, but I know when I'm going to different vineyards, they always say, "Oh, Jimmy was here. Oh, Jimmy was here." So I was like, "Oh, wow."
Yeah, I was pretty impressed by CJ McCollum, to be honest with you.
CJ McCollum, very good choice.
Really
CJ,
knows his stuff.
CJ, yes, you're right.
Really does.
You're right.
He's a smart dude. I'm always like, And for some reason, sometimes I sit down with players and they kind of have this thing of like they're afraid to get too technical about wine, and then they start it, and I'm like, oh, you know more about wine than I do. Like,
I never really talk technical, you know, because I'm like, I've been in wine for like 20 years, you know, but at the end of the day, you drink it, you say you like it or you don't like it, it's fine, you know. The technical stuff, you know, is good, you know, but I think it's everybody has their own opinion and can feel different stuff with their palate, you know what I mean? So I feel like it's to their own person, you know, how you're gonna feel about what you're drinking.
Well, I appreciate it so much, Tony.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Really
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, everyone, for listening. I want to thank Tony for joining the podcast. I want to thank John Adams, our producer, and I would like to thank you for listening. If you love this podcast, please leave us a great rating or review wherever you listen to your pods, and subscribe to SOMM TV. We have over 450 hours of original content, the best educational content you can find anywhere in the culinary world. Thank you, everyone. Be safe and have a great, great time. Until next week.